Okay, good evening to everyone. Today's session we are going to discuss about the topics data structures in Python, which are most powerfully using in Python programming, a list, tuples, sets, and dictionaries. Let's get into this topic. First of all, we are going to discuss about the topic called list. Lists are used to store the multiple items. Like in C, you see there is a type called array. But array can store only one data type at a time. But here we can use the multiple data types. And list is an ordered. Ordered means it has an index value starting from 0 and range varies it. And you can also change the data in the list and allows duplicate values. It allows the duplicate values also. Now you can see the syntax of the list. Here demo is an variable which stores the list. List is followed by square brackets where it contains a 3 items. Here is a variable Python string and C string and C++. These are same data types. List can use it to store multiple data types in a single variable. Let me show you. Let me create my Python file. Okay. Here demo is my variable. Now list is created. If you want to check whether it is a list or any other type, we all know that we can use the type. See, now you can
Ishwar,
see.
can you please zoom in your screen?
Okay. Is it okay?
You can zoom in a little bit. Yeah, now it was okay. Okay, fine. You can continue the session.
Okay. Now you can see here is a list, and we can also shown that the type here it belongs to the class list. Now we can check. Now we are going to create a list with same data types. See, demo is a list which contains the same data types as an integers. 1, 2, 3 are integer data types. Now we print the list. See, and it can also stores the multiple data types. We can store different data types. Here you can see this. I have stored 2 items. One item is belongs to integer type and another item is belongs to string type. Now I'm going to print this. You can see a list can use to store multiple data types as so, and it will also allows you duplicates. Again, I am going to enter the value 1. See, Now we got to understand that list can store multiple data types and it can also allows the duplicate values. Now we're going to see a few more things. List items are indexed. Indexed means here list will starts with index called 0 is the first element. From 0 it will ranges up to the given length. See here you can see a list. Here the box is the list. Here balls, 4 balls are the items. The list can store the same data type, means it is an integer or it can be a string, but it can also store all the data types of same type. And it can also now here you can see here ball is one type and here teddy bear is another type. We can consider it as an integer type, it is a string type. So list can also store the different data types also. Now we go to some deep in discuss about the list. Now we're going to access the how to access the list and how to use the list methods. If while listening the list topics, please note that while I'm explaining the topics, because practicing on the list is the good thing. Okay, now we see we're going to print the, suppose we have the a list with 3 numbers. Now we want to print the first element from the list. We have already known that it is starts with indexing 0. So if you want to print the first element in the list, then you have to use as a indexing. Now what will be happen means demo of 0 means it will goes into list and search for the first element and it prints the first element. See, we have printed the indexing of list of at 0th position element 1. Now let's look into few methods. First method, I think somewhat to zoom out. First method is an append method. What is append? Append method is used to add elements at the end of the list. You can see here the list is starts with 1, 23 and 3. While using the method append, you can add an element at the end of the list. The method can only add a single element at a time. To add the multiple elements, the append method can be used inside a loop. So we can add only one element at a time. Instead of writing every time about the same list, I used to copy it. Okay, now I want to add an element called JR. Look into here. Now what will be happen? Here we have a list with the 3 elements. Now we use the method called append to add an item into the given list. So we get add this string JR at the end of the list. See, the actual list was 1, 2, 23 and 3. Now we have added a string JR at the end of the list. If you want to add multiple items, we can use the for loop also. Suppose we can see here for I in range whatever the range you give, the loop will iterate such times. So I want to add 2 items, so I'm giving the range just 2. Now demo dot append I. Just look at what I'm going to add into the list. Here I'm going to add the I, where I value starts from 0. After that 1, it will stop because it will repeat up to only 2 loops. So now the list will add a 0 and 1 has the end of the index. See, we got that 0 and 1 is added at the index of last of the list. Now I'll give you 10 seconds. If anyone want to note down, please note down this method and the use of the method.
Hello.
Hello.
Ishwar.
Hello.
Ishwar Kishore.
Yes, sir.
Sir, please continue. Don't waste time because we are going to share the recorded version. So don't need to give the time for note down the things. So it is difficult to cover the topics.
Yes, sir, but it's a very important topic. Okay, sir, I will continue that.
Continue, no problem.
Okay. After that, we see that the append method. Append method has only one element at the end of the list at a time. But if you want to add more than one element without using for loop, you can use another method called extend. Extend is a method. At a time, you can add multiple elements. Now we have the list with 1, 23 and 3. Now we want to add in 2 more elements at same time. So I can use this extend method to add the elements. Now you can see here something. Okay, while passing into the values into extend method, you should pass it as in a list only, because we are adding it the elements to the list. We have to pass the multiple values as a list, then only it will takes. See here, the extend method is used to add multiple values at a time at the end of the list. Now we can see another topic called index. Sorry, insert. Insert is a method we can add an element at a given position in the list. Thus, unlike append, it can add elements at any position, but like append, it can add only one element at a time. This method takes 2 arguments. The first argument specifies the position and second argument specifies the element to be inserted. Now we can see here demo insert. First of all, here we have the positions 0, 1 and 2. I want to add an element at the first index. The element is JR. Now the element JR will be added at the index 1. See, the first here 0th index is 1 and for index 1 is JR. And we please note that we can only insert only one element at a time by using this insert method. Next one was remove. Remove method is used to remove an element from the list. In case of multiple occurrence of the same element, only first occurrence will be removed. I mean that, suppose you want to remove an element from the list. you can use the remove method by passing the just value. Here we have one problem. Suppose if we have a list has the multiple items, like one is repeated 2 times, then remove which element will be removed from the list? It will remove the first occurrence of the element. So remove method will remove the element 1 at the index of 0. See, here we have 1 at 2 positions, but 1 removes by coming the order of the indexing. First indexing position got the number 1, so it removed the first one, which is occurred at index 0. Coming to next topic is pop method. You have already heard about this thing in C. Pop stack. In stack you can see use pop method. Pop is nothing like a remove from the position of the list, but here we can use by using the position, we can remove the element from the list. Here the demo list has 3 elements. We want to remove the element at index 2, then we just pass the value as a 2. Then the pop method will remove the index 2. See here, the element 3 at the index 2 is removed. Now we look into, I think we have already heard about the slice. Slice in list, slice in strings. So now slice operations is used to print the selection of the list. So we can print from particular selection of the list to some specified selection of the range. It does not modify the original list. It just used to print option only, or you can store these values in any other variable also. Just look into that. Suppose we have an elements from 1 to 5. Now we're going to print up to only specified range up to index 2. Now we can use slicing to just run it. See here, it does not consider the index 2 also. It goes from index 0 to just 2. It ranges from 0th index, index 0 and index 1. We can see a few more things. Now we have given the range of 3. See, we go in from index 0, 1 and 2. Now I just copy this. Okay, we see that the ranging from up to which range we can print, and also we can start from the specified range also. You can see that from, I'm going to start with the index 1 and print the entire list. If you not given any range at the here, it will just print the up to complete range. Now see, we have the elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we are starting with the index 1, which was the index 1, element 2. From starting the element 2, we have move on to enter the list. From starting range. Now we can also select the specified index. Suppose I want to print the elements from index 1 to some index 3. I'm starting with index 1 and ending with index 3. If you want to end with index 3, you have to mention here 4 because it does not consider the index 4. See here. Here you can see 0 is the 1, 1 is the 2, 2 is the 3, 4 is the 3. So the index with the 3 is 4. So we have printed from index 1 to index 3. Okay. Now moving to other topic, reverse method. We all know that the reverse operator is used to reverse the elements in the list. The method modifies the original list. To reverse the list without modifying the original list, we can use slicing also. First, we look into this. Suppose we have the list with the values of 5 elements. We are going to just print the list in reverse. Now we know we can use the slicing. Syntax is this. See here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have reversed the list without modified. How do we know that we have modified or not? Of course, we can see that we just print the original list. See now, the original list is printed as it is. It does not affect anything on the given list. But while using the function reverse, it will affect. See here, we have applied the method reverse on the list. Now we are going to print the original list. See, the original list is affected after applying the function reverse. By using this method, we can reverse the given list and it also modifies the original list. But to modify without modify, we can use this slicing option. Okay, next we see the length function, length method, where the length is the built-in method and we can use this method to find the length of the list. Suppose we have here the 5 elements in the list. To know the length of the list, we can use the method length. See, by using the method length, we get the length of the list as 5. Now we can see we can also find the max and min values from the list. Suppose we have the list starting with values 1 to 5. Now we want to print the minimum value. In C language, to find the minimum value in an array, we use the for loops and use searching methods. Here simply we can use the method, built-in method min value, min demo. It prints the minimum value, and we can also print the same time. I'm going to print the max value. See here, the method min value brings the value from minimum value from the list as 1, and the max method returns the max value from the list as a 5. While working on the programs, it will makes very simple to find the min and max value by using these methods, and next we are going to another method called count, where the count function returns the number of occurrence of a given element in the list. Suppose we have a list with the values, duplicate values. I mean here the value is repeated. So if you want to find the occurrence of 2 in the list, suppose here demo dot count of 2 means the element 2, it checks the how many times 2 is occurred. We can see here 1 time and 2 times, so the answer should be 2. We can change the element. Now we are going to check another thing called I will add few more elements, then you will get clear idea. Now I'm going to add 5. See here 1, 2 and 3. So we should get the answer 3. See here answer is 3. So count method will simplify us in searching an element of occurrence. Now we're going to see concatenation. We can concatenate the two list by using the operator plus. Suppose demo is one list, 1, 2 contains 3 values. Demo 1 is another list which contains the string values. Now we can add simply these two lists into one list. You can see that I will use some another variable. You can also use the same variable, some variable a. See what will be happen. The list demo and another list demo 1. These two lists are combined into form a single list, and the single list is stored in the variable a. Now we are going to print that variable a. See here the list 1 demo and the list demo 1 is one list which contains 2 elements, and demo is another list which contains 3 items. They both are added and concatenated into a one list. Okay, you got this. Next, index. The index method returns the position of the first occurrence of a given element. Suppose you want to find the an element in the index position. If you want to know the position, we can use this index method. Suppose here the list contains 5 items starting from 1 to 5. You want to find the position of the element 3. You can use simply insert method, index method 3. See here we got that the position is 2. Here the index value start from 0, 1, 2. See here the element 3 is located at the index 2. And suppose if the 2 elements is occurred, what will be happen? I mean 2 elements means if the position of the element is occurred at 2 positions, then it will gives the value which is occurred first time. Suppose here the element 3 is again occurred. I just copy this. You want here, see here in the list we see that element 3 is occurred at the position 2 and element 3 is occurred at the index 6. Now what will index method will return? Index method will return the element which is occurred first time. See here, your index is again 2. So index method will go by line from starting with 0, 1, 3. When it finds the 3 at the index 2, it just returns the 2. It does not search again thing. We can also search the element from particular range also. There is another option. Search element from particular range. How we'll check that? The index method passes the 3 values as a positions. Suppose here is a list which contains duplicate values. Now we're going to check that position of element 2. What we'll get? We get the answer as 1 because the element is occurred at 1. We don't want this 1. We want the suppose we divide the list as a list contain 8 elements. This is the first part. This is the second part. With just imagine we want to get the index from second part. Then what we'll do? We'll pass the value where we want to start. We want to start from the index 0 and up to which range? 7. Because the list index maximum range is 7. Now it will search the elements from index 4 to entire list. So it will returns the value of second part of the element 2. See here, we got the index 6 because the element 2 is ranges between 4 to 7 at the position of index 6. Now use the method sort. Here you can see the elements which is not in sorting order. In C program, if you want to sort an array, you just want to write the large number of lines. But here in the Python, sort method will sort the list. You don't need to write the more number of lines. Simply just list dot sort. It will just sort the list. Now I'm going to print the list. See here, original list was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 2, 3 are in not sorted order. So it automatically sorts the list. And remember one thing, this sort function can only apply on a homogeneous list. Homogeneous list means same data types. You cannot use the on a heterogeneous data types. I means list with integer data type and string data type. You cannot apply the sort method. And we can also apply the sort method on string data types. Suppose we have the string B, C, hi. See here, the list contains with the string data types of 4 items, B, C, hi and apple. Now we just sort this list. List will be sorted according to the alphabetical position occurred. See here, apple comes first because apple has an A alphabet is the first occurrence in alphabets, next B, next C, next H here. So sort method will apply in this way. Now we'll see another method, clear. Suppose we have a list with values. If you want to erase the complete data in the list, we can use the simply function clear. So it will clear the list. I'm going to print the demo. See here, the list is empty. The method clear is applied on the list and it clears all the elements in the list and it prints an empty list. Here we come to end of the topic list. If you want anything, if you have anything regarding doubts about the list, can you put in the chat box? Remaining people, please take 5 minutes break.
Ishwar, someone asked about the searching part again.
Searching part. Okay, searching part means index or index only, no? From which can you explain the clear doubt about them? Can you explain the doubt? Hello?
Say searching from a range.
Searching from range, okay. See here, what will be happen? If you want to search an element from particular range to some range. Now, I will show you syntax. Index should pass the first element. Next, starting position. Later, you want to give the end position. See here. Here I have given the positions 4. 4 means, see here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it starts checking from the element 5 to end position. Here end position is 7. So it starts checking first element 5. Next, it will check the element 6. Next, it check the element 2. So where element 2 is matches with the given element 2. So it prints the index of 2. Is it clear?
Yeah, they're asking about 27th cell also.
27th cell. Okay.
Modified it.
27th cell. Here is no 27th cell.
Yeah, you just modified the cell so it changes its number.
Okay, okay, I understood that.
And then what's the difference between pop and slice?
Pop and slice. It is entirely different, that juniors. Where the pop method used to remove an element has an using index. See here. Here we have the list with the elements 1, 23 and 3. While using the pop, it removes an element from specified index. So here I mentioned the index 2. So it will check. See here, at 0th index 0, we have 1. Similarly, at 1 position, we have 23. And index 2, we have 3. So in pop method, we have passed the index value as 2. So it goes to index value 2 and will remove this value 3. And it modifies the list. So see here, it removes the element 3 from the list. This is the pop method. Pop method uses the index value to remove an element from the list. Slicing is a different method. Slicing does not modify the list. I will show that. See here, print demo. See, the list is as it is. We got the original. I think you thought that the pop will remove an element. Similarly, slicing also removes the element. No, slicing is not removing the elements. We just took the elements to print at a particular range. Slicing is used to select the specified range, not to remove the elements from the list. I think you got the answer.
Yeah, many of them are asking about removing multiple elements from the list. Is it
Removing
is it can be done using pop and remove methods?
pop or remove methods. Okay, I got that. Using remove method, you cannot. I just try that to show you. See here, we got another. Remove value does not take the two values. It takes only single value. In similar way, pop also takes only one value. Pop also, because it the pop method has takes one value as a parameter which has shows the index. If you want to remove the multiple elements from the list, you can use the for loop function also. If you want to remove this you can use for loop function. We cannot delete the directly in pop. Suppose I want to pop the elements. I'm not going to remove this code. I'm just going to create another list for multiple elements. See, here is another list. If you want to remove multiple elements, remove elements from starting with index 0 to 1. I want to remove first two elements. So I can go with for loop. For I in range of, from which range, which elements I want to remove, from 0 to 1. 0 to 1. So I'm going to specify the range 1. So it starts from 0 and it ends with I'm going to specify 2. It starts from 1. Just demo dot pop I. Now we are going to print this list. See here, apple, and something I have changed. Okay. What will be happen means, after removing one element, the list indexing is changed. That's why we got this. We have removed the apple, and after that we have removed the banana, not banana, B. If you want to remove the multiple elements, you can simply just specify the number of times you want to pop up the elements. Suppose we want to pop up the index 1, pop the index 2, print new list. See here, I want to print again. After see here, the new list was A, 1, 2, and 3. After removing the first index, we got the list 1 is removed from the list. After removing the 1, we will get the list A, 2, and 3. Again that we are going to pop the 2. After popping the list, the indexing will be changed. So after that we get to remove the multiple element 2 at the index 2. So it removed the 3. If you want to remove the multiple elements, you just have to specify the particular indexing. Indexing is a little bit confused because the indexing will be changed every time. Suppose I will print here again. First modification. See, here is the first list, the original list A, 1, 2, and 3. Suppose we want to pop the index element 1. Now it has popped. Here A is the 0th position, 1 is the position 1. So pop 1 means it pops the 1. So after popping 1, the list was A, 2, and 3. If you want to pop the index 2, now it indexing is changed now. Actual indexing of 2 in the original list was 2, but after one time popping, the indexing value of 2 was 1. So it will pops now 3. Did you got my point? Hello?
Yeah, Ishwar, you are clear. You can carry on. There are no more doubts.
Okay. Now we have completed the topic list. Now we are moving into another topic called tuples, where tuples are used to store multiple items similar to the list. I have not mentioned one point regarding the list, where list is mutable, where tuple is immutable. I will explain about it clearly in few more points. Where tuple is the collection of ordered and unchangeable. Here unchangeable means once you assign the value into a tuple, you cannot modify the value. Please remember that. But after assigning value into a list, you can modify the value in the list. See here, the syntax of the tuple was closed, it is open braces. Here is my tuple contains 3 items, and it is also similarly, it is an order. It starts with index 0 and ends with it ranges some varies, and it also allows the duplicate values. Okay, I think something. Wait for few minutes. My system got stuck. Okay, now we see into the accessing the tuples. While accessing the tuples, it is also similar to the list by using the indexing, but here we see the few more changes here. Here, to create a tuple, we want to use the open braces. Now, see here, demo is a new tuple which was created with 3 elements. Now we're going to print the type. See here, the demo is a class type tuple. We can access tuple. Similarly, as a list, tuple is also accessible using the indexing. Now, I want to print the element at the index 2. Index 2 was 3. Just see that. See here, the index element present at 2 was 3. We have printed the value. Immutable means, I will show that. What is immutable? What is mutable? I will show you very clear example. I just copy that. Here, demo is an tuple. I want to modify the element at first position. I want to change element to some apple. What should I do? See, demo of the element 2 present at index 1. Demo of index 1 is equals to apple. Now I just print tuple. What will be happen? It shows an error because we cannot change the value once assigned into a tuple. Here the index 1 is already assigned in a tuple, so we cannot change or add an element into the tuple. For what to do with for adding, we want to change the value in a tuple. If you want to change a value in tuple, we have to go to mutable things. For that, list is a mutable, so first we convert the tuple into a list. Now just I'm going to print type. See here, type is list. Now this tuple is converted into a list. Now I can change the value. I want to change it at index 1. Demo of index 1 is equal to apple. Now see, print. See here, after first of I have considered the tuple, and after considering the tuple, I have converted into a list. After converting into list, I have assigned the value. See here, this is not worked in case of tuple, but it is working in case of a list. This is the key change. You have to observe that what is mutable and what is immutable. Once the value is assigned in a tuple, you cannot change. It is immutable. Once you have assigned the value in a list, you can change because it is mutable. Now we have changed the list. Now again I am going to convert this list into tuple. Again tuple. See, I have converted the tuple into a list and printed the type. I added an element at index 1. Again I have printed the list. Now again that list is converted again back to the tuple, and I'm going to print the tuple. See here, first I have considered a tuple, and consideration of the tuple I have converted back into a list and add an element and print the list. Again I have converted the list into the tuples. This is the way we will add an element to a tuple. We cannot directly add an element also into a tuple. And see here, indexing is possible, and similarly we can use a length also, length method in also tuple. Length. Suppose we want to print the length of this tuple demo. We can just run that. See here, this tuple demo consists of 4 values, 1, 2, 3, and again 3. So we have printed the value 3. We can also see that we cannot add any value directly to tuple. I said that after creation of the tuple, we cannot modify or we cannot add any value into a tuple. If you want to add any value into the tuple, we first convert into a list, we add the value and we convert back again into a tuple. And tuple does not consist many number of methods. We have mainly built in two main methods, only two. One is count method, other is indexing. Count and indexing are very similar to the as in a list. I will show you that. This is count method. Suppose we want to count how many times of the element 2 occurred in the tuple. Yes, we use same as in a list. Just count the element 2. See here, the element 2 occurred only once in the tuple. And another method was index. Indexing is we can just print the index. It is also similarly as you seen back in the list. It is it works also same. We're going to find the index of element 2 in the given tuple. See here, the index of element 2 was 1. If you want to know the index of element 3, it shows the which occurrences comes first. Which occurrences comes first. Similarly, we can also specify, we have already seen that we can also use it from the range. Print demo. I will increase a few more elements in the list, then you will get clear idea. I will place the indexing positions. How many? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Total 7 elements are there. 0th index we have the value 1. At first index we have the value 2. At second index we have the value 3. At third index we have the value 3. At fourth index we have the value apple. At fifth index we have the value A, and sixth index we have the value B. Now we want to find this element 3 from the part selected range. So I just going to print such that index of 3 starting from where? Here. The index was 0, 1, 2, 3. Index starting 3 to end position. See here, we got the index 3. Now we got the position of the index of 3 from this selected part. And we can also apply the slicing similarly in a tuple also. See here, slicing is applying in tuple. How? We are starting with index 1 and going to the entire range of the tuple. Similarly, as shown before in a list, you can also apply the same slicing methods in here. This is up to the topics list and tuples. If you have any doubts regarding tuples, please comment in chat box.
Hello, Ishwar.
Jahmir.
What's the difference between a list and a tuple? And then sorting in tuples and slicing in tuples.
Okay.
These are the major questions we received.
I have clearly mentioned that list and tuple are almost both are similar. The only key difference is one is mutable, another is immutable. Once the value is assigned in the tuple, you cannot change. It is immutable. Once the value is assigned in a list, you can clearly change the value. I have shown in above also. See here. While removing while executing this part of the code, we got the error because we cannot modify the value once assigned into a tuple. And once the value we can add a value into a list after assigning the value also. This is the key, the only difference between list and tuple. Slicing and sorting are exactly same works as for both things. Am I clear?
Yes, Ishwar, you can continue with the session.
Okay. For remaining part, Tarun Sai will explain this session. Hello, Tarun, are you there?
Yeah, Ishwar, thank you.
I will stop sharing. Please continue that.
Yeah, sure.